to Bartell Business. I'm your host, Andre Bartell. Today I have a special guest, a gentleman that's been into the entrepreneurship space for a number of years. He was a good friend of mine, as well as the family. What we're going to be doing is talking about the actual, what it takes to actually be in business and represent the opportunity to be a instrumental or a organizer in a leadership in business. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this time to introduce my guest, Scott Clay of Motor City Soul Food.
Thank you, Andre.
Welcome, thank you for coming.
I appreciate the invitation.
Yes. Tell me a little bit more about you and what you do and why you do the things you do.
Well, it's funny because I feel like you watched me grow up. I've known you well over 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you were a friend of my father, and I like to think he was one of your mentors.
Exactly.
Because he's about 10, 12, 15 years older than you. So
yes.
You watched us come full circle. Now that I think about it, it's way longer than 25 years even.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going back to magic shows and all kind of old other ventures that we've been involved in. But yeah, entrepreneurship is in my blood. My father, my grandfather, they all were self-made business owners right here from the bootstraps, right from the Detroit area, you know, from the Black Bottom, Paradise Valley. So we are Detroit, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay, good. One of the things that I would like to share with our audience, you currently operate several different businesses. You've got so
Yes.
many, and we probably don't have enough time to mention all of them. But one of your pet peeves, and you, I seen from day one that you helped take Motor City Soul Food, which is one of Detroit's prominent soul food restaurants.
Thank you.
To the next level. Tell us, our audience, about that, Scott.
Well, like you said, my father, my parents, George and Martha Clay, they started Motor City Soul Food, and it started from the most humble beginnings. My father, like I said before, was an entrepreneur, and he was in real estate, and he happened to have a building that was a restaurant that he had leased to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That tenant broke their lease and left him with some equipment. So as a business owner and an entrepreneur that he was, he said, well, if we have the building already,
mm-hmm.
and we have equipment already, why can't we throw our hat in and give a restaurant a try? We got other businesses going. I think real estate was one of his primary businesses at that time. He was also in the, you know, marketing and promotions way back when t-shirts were the thing. We had a t-shirt store for over 20 years, did a lot of family reunion shirts, and this is all in the 80s.
Right.
So I grew up going and working at Hart Plaza, you know, selling shirts, and in the summers, this is how we spend our, you know, our formative years in 10, 12, 15 years old, working every summer, working throughout the year at my father's. He had a former restaurant, Giorgio's Cookies and Cream, it was called. It was downtown, and it was an ice cream store.
Right.
And I was really, really young. I used to hate having to mop that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 9 years old, got to mop this gigantic space. But yeah, that's how we learned. We came up through it organically.
So you actually really bought the entrepreneurship, or bit, should I say, the entrepreneurship bug, you know, at an early age.
Very true. Very true.
And not only that, you know, Motor City and having the opportunity to work, you know, with you and your dad over the years, you guys have been recipients of many awards.
Yes,
Could you just name just a few?
We've definitely been blessed. We've definitely been blessed. Like I say, from humble beginnings to been featured on the Travel Channel, been featured on the Food Network, been voted #1 fried chicken, one of the top fried chickens in America, I should say.
Right.
Thrillist magazine, a food magazine, a very prominent industry trade magazine, said we won the best 25 fried chickens in America. We've been voted best mac and cheese. We've been voted best soul food. You know, Our Magazine, which is another prominent Detroit publication. Yes. We've actually been voted #1 in that genre 5 times, I believe. So almost 25 years, 23 years. We've been open, about to be 24 this year. So we're very grateful that for the recognition.
So Motor City has a lot of fruit on the tree, and you know what also is that when people come out of town, that's where a lot of people bring their guests to Motor City Soul Food.
Absolutely, we're very grateful for that.
And you guys are expanding and opening up multiple locations throughout the city. Can you share with our audience, some of the locations?
Oh yeah, well currently we have 3.
Yes.
Started out on West 7 Mile at Myers. That was our original flagship location. That's where all of the magic started at.
Okay.
In 2012, we opened our second location. So we opened the first one in 2000. In 2012, we opened our second location, which is on Greenfield and 10 Mile in the city of Oak Park. Right there next to Starbucks in the strip mall. And then here recently, as the official second generation leader, as my parents have retired, they're both over 80 now. They're still involved in the business, but not so much the day-to-day. I was able to open a third location, which is kind of like the footprint for our future plans. First location with a drive-through.
Yes.
First location is doing a third-party delivery and all that, because we were old school, traditional. My parents were quite a bit from if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they were doing financially well, so they didn't understand the need to pivot and make transitions in order to keep up with the times. So luckily, they felt comfortable with me, the only son, handing those reins over to me, and I don't take that lightly. So I'm very serious about how do we transition and grow this business from 3 locations to 10 to 30 to 300 and worldwide. Why not? I mean, there is no nationwide soul food chain, so why not make history? Why not us?
Well, I'm very proud of you, Scott, number one, as an individual.
Thank you.
And also you have taken the time not only to move the generation, you also have a daughter.
Yes.
Okay, which we'll probably interview a little later.
Great.
In the show. As well as a granddaughter.
Exactly.
So you believe in transitioning and passing it on.
Absolutely.
Explain that.
Absolutely. Well, legacy, generational wealth, all these things that aren't prevalent in the Black community, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we have so many times that when we achieve or obtain any level of success, we aren't able to pass it down to the next generation, and then they end up having to start over. It's like families spend so much time climbing up, by their bootstraps and finally getting somewhere, but then through systematic racism or, so many different factors that they weren't able to pass it on. So now it's very important to me to not only be second generation, but like you mentioned, my daughters, I have 3 daughters, and they all work in the business.
Yes.
I have 3 daughters, they all work in the family business, and I have a granddaughter, and she's also in the family business.
Right.
Even at only 5 years old. She understands the importance of us all working together as a family, supporting each other as a family, and winning together as a family. Because we don't win without each other.
Accomplished and aspiring entrepreneur. Did you know that real mentors do more than just give you inspirational messages? The right mentor can be the difference in your business, succeeding versus it going under. In his breakout business book, Through an Entrepreneur's Eyes, a collection of millionaire and mentee relationship case studies, business authority, master mentor, and author of Beyond the Bling, Donald Snyder masterfully put together a collection of interviews that helps new entrepreneurs and established owners alike navigate the uncertainty of following your dreams and passions through starting your own business. Get Donald Snyder's Through an Entrepreneur's Eyes, available on Amazon. Order your copies today.
Hello, we're back with Bartell Business. We're here with my special guest, Scott Clay. Scott, I was just reminiscing, and I was thinking about and asking the question, what do you want to, or what type of advice could you give someone who wants to open up their own business?
Well, opening up a business is not for the faint of heart. And I'm blessed enough to be married for 30 years. So the same advice would be what I would give to a young couple considering marriage. You have to go all in. Business, entrepreneurship, owning your own business, it is a it's the most demanding thing you'll ever do. So unless you find something that you love to do, you'll be chaining yourself to something that you don't even want. So what you have to do is do self-reflection and see, do I really want this? Because like I said before, you have to be all in. When there's nobody to call, you're the call. I like it myself to, even though I'm blessed enough to not have to be in the business, I get to work on the business and work on, marketing and promotion and guiding the business itself. So working on the business. But sometimes I have to work in the business as well. So when those things happen, I have to realize just how blessed I am to be able to make that decision.
Yeah.
So when I say go all in, I am the emergency response team. When something goes wrong, there is not someone else to call. Either I have to know what to do myself or whom to call, because you're the cavalry. You're the last stand. You're the last hope of safety. You're glue. Whatever it is that you want to call that term, you're the person that has to be willing to go whether you're tired, go whether you don't. I tell my staff all the time, there's a difference between I'm sick and I don't feel good. You have to go even when you don't feel good. You better be really sick if you don't call in.
You said really sick.
Yeah. So again, it's something that, it's a great life though. It's actually the greatest life for me, and it's not for everyone. I can't say what everyone wants for themselves, but for me, the chance to get up every day and fight for what I'm dreaming about.
Exactly. Living your dream.
Yep. The fact that you get to manifest things that were once in thought form. Once there's something as an idea, ideas come and go. But who are the great people who are willing to make that idea into reality? And that's really what being an entrepreneur is.
Manifestation.
It's seeing, oh man, I want to open a X, whatever it might be, a restaurant, a clothing store, an Amazon. I want to open a bookstore, whatever it is that you want to do. But you have to be able to have the ability to visualize it. Once you can visualize it, and then that's when the fun begins. Now I'm up every day. I don't know what I would do if I had to go and punch into a clock, even though I'm up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up every day at 4 o'clock, but I'm up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed because I'm getting the chance to chase my dream.
That's a good thing.
Every single day. And sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, but I'm up every single day chasing it. And what's better than that? That's freedom. I smell it. The success and the failures.
Well, Scott, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Going through what you've gone through and being on the level that you have you ever had any difficulty? What are some of tell us some of your challenges that you may have experienced.
You want to just go from today? Because I think that's one of the main things that people on the outside looking in don't understand how much you are responsible for.
Exactly.
So I don't call them losses, I call them lessons, because you're learning from everything. But man, I might lose 5 times in a day, but I win 6. It's like you lose some and you win some, and the goal is to win more than you lose. And I mean, just dealing with insurance companies, and I mean, as you said before, I'm involved in a couple of different businesses. So just the exposure. People, they see it on the outside, and man, I've probably been sued 5 times in the last year. So you just start talking about things that are difficult. And another thing is knowing what you don't know. Is a very big challenge, because sometimes you will have achieved some level of success, or but then in order to go and grow, you have to do it all over again. So you have to find out, like, I know this and I'm doing this okay, but how, if I want to grow, how do I scale this? So that's like a whole nother college education you got to get. From scaling from 1 restaurant to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 5, from 5 to 10. Each one of them is an inextricable challenge in itself. So it's like, if you're not up for challenges, this is not, maybe you want to run somebody else's play. But when you're not only the owner of the team and the general manager, and the head coach,
Right.
and the star player, and the bench warmer, and the guy that cleans up afterwards.
Right.
You have to be ready to wear those several of those hats and still perform at your best. So yeah, challenges is part of the game, but successfully overcoming
That's
challenges
right. Yeah.
is the bigger part of the game.
I have another question for you.
Yes, sir.
Studying. Do you believe that you have to study your craft or study your business or know your
Well,
business?
what does the word say?
Yeah.
You know,
Study to show yourself
study
approved.
to show thyself approved.
That's right.
So again, it's constant study.
Right.
People think that it's like a level of like let's say for example like a high school graduation.
Right.
Let's say it's going to be June 1st, 2000 whatever, and that's a set date. That's a set time for that set event. But in this is constant evolution and evolving.
Right.
I have to, man, I study probably 4 to 6 hours a day. I'm constantly reading. We talked a little bit about it off camera, but personal
Right.
development
Yes.
is very key because you have to want to make yourself better before you can do better.
That's right. That's
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
That's
So
right.
I find that Audible is a great source for me. I like to listen while I'm between, my various stops and meetings and things that I'm doing. So I listen to books. I try to listen to 3 books, or so a week.
Yes.
And yeah, long
Okay.
answer short, studying is top-notch important.
All right. Thank you very much, Scott.
Looking for a print shop that feels like home? At Digimax, we're proud to be family-owned and operated, offering top-notch service with a personal touch. From business cards to billboards, we print it all. Fast, affordable, and high quality. Need a space to collaborate? Enjoy our private conference room with free Wi-Fi. Grab a snack, sip on a beverage, and let's bring your vision to life. Visit us today where great printing meets great people. Digimax, your full-service print shop designed with you in mind.
Welcome back to Bartell Business, and I'm here with my distinguished guest, Scott Clay. Before the break, we were talking about something that I think is near and dear to my heart. And, what do you think about the spiritual guidance that you have in doing the type of work that you do and in being in business? What do you look to?
The hills, I know where to look. All of my help coming from.
There you go. Okay.
Coming from the Lord, but without being cliche, that is the truest statement.
Right.
I found out a long time ago, really, if you build yourself on a solid foundation, you'll be able to take a lot more.
Right.
You'll be able to
Yes.
withstand a lot more. So when the world gets to beating down on you, you know what I'm saying? You have a new employee work 2 days and then all of a sudden they have a slip and fall.
Right.
You know, how do you combat that? Prayer,
So neology.
meditation,
Yes.
meditation, time with the Father.
That's right.
Finding your prayer closet, finding your prayer partners. And again, we go so far back, but again, you're my prayer warrior. If I have some issues, over these last 30 years, I know who I can, one of the people that I can call on and count on to stand with me.
Oh yeah.
It's safety in many counselors.
Yes.
It's the word, when you go back and you look for something and you have a question, if the word is your final, is the final, what did the word say about it?
Yeah.
So again, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm smart enough to go to the word.
Yes, exactly.
And see exactly what my Father says about it. And then I'm smart enough to slow down and try to meditate on it and let that thing ruminate inside me. Go in the word, go in the concordance, what I'm saying, and find out something that speaks to you about this situation.
Exactly.
And then ruminate on it, chew on it. You read those verses. Take 4 or 5 minutes in the morning. And then something that I learned specifically from you, not only pray and talk to God, but give him a chance to talk back to you.
Yeah.
That was so key for me.
Yes.
You know, I mean, thank you, amen, and then I'm out the door. But now, and that's the difference between like a lot of prayer and meditation.
Right.
Meditation really for me, before bed and, you know, as soon as I get up, is the key for, that's like the answer key.
Yes, yes.
The answers start getting revealed to you through your outside senses, but it's what you talk deep and personally about with your creator. And next thing you know, you'll see something on the news that's kind of speaking around that's giving you confirmation. You'll talk to someone at the coffee shop and they don't even know you, but then they're giving you confirmation on something within your spirit. And then I'll say, Daddy, you talking to me? I do a presence check. Do I feel you, Daddy? I feel you here with me. So that is the guidebook. Like I say, that's the answer key. When I get stuck, which is all the time, I'm blessed to have a wife of 30 years. We talk about it. She might give me a verse. I might call my mother-in-law. She might give me a verse. I might call someone like you. I might get a verse with someone at Home Depot. You never know where the impetus or the inspiration will come from, but that's about how I find about 90% of my answers.
Good. Do you know how much a blessing that is to put God first? And to actually operate a family, be married close to 30 years.
Over 30,
Over 30? Okay, welcome. You got a little ways to get me there. I'm at 37, 38 this year, so you good. I'll be 40 in a minute.
We just 31. We was 30 in 2023.
So that's good.
We grateful, yes.
Right, that is a blessing. And then it's the next generation, which I'm excited about.
Yes,
how you doing it, and the leadership that you have in your family, and such a beautiful wife, and understand and know. And one of the things I want to say about you, Scott, is that you've always been, always had goals, number one, and you've always been driven, and you're a self-motivator.
Yes.
No one have to tell you what you got to do. You go out there and do it. Good, bad, and the ugly.
Thank you,
You may
sir.
get knocked down, buddy, but you getting back up. That's one thing I say about you, buddy. You gonna make it happen.
Exactly.
And you are making it happen. That's the reason why you are successful and you're doing what you're doing. What do you think about community? And what do you say about, a lot of times people say, well, you know what, I give back to my community. You do so much for the community. You do so much for people. And not only that, you don't want nobody to pat you on your back. No. But I already know you do a whole lot of stuff.
Well, thank you, sir.
Period.
He
because
knows.
that's part of, and you're not looking for anyone to say that, but I just know you as an individual, and sometimes even there will be situations where your employees need some help, a lot of times you just go in and help them.
Oh yeah, if I can.
Or anybody else.
It's not just, I was about to say, it's not just the employees.
Right.
The Lord has blessed me so, and I get so much help.
Right.
My motto is to help everyone I come across, honestly. I don't care if you less fortunate and you living on the street or have a bad situation.
Right.
I help people in every way that I possibly can, and I stand on that.
Well, you know what? There's a scripture that says that you deal with the person with the feeling of the infirmities. I've seen you in some of your best situations. I've seen you in some of your worst situations. I've seen you eat humble pie.
Many times.
That's the making of a man.
Yes.
Who's not afraid to cry and understand, Lord, I need help.
Yes.
And that's the reason why he blesses you immensely. Because you're human.
I agree. I agree 1,000,000,000%.
Right.
That's really what I stand on. I have had so much help throughout my life. I was blessed, even though I've been through a ton of things. I'm not going to say that. But I always found myself standing on my feet somehow.
I'm telling you.
And I know that it was God. I know, there's another scripture, when I look back over my life, I already know I had so much help.
Right,
so I would be remiss
he was carrying you.
not to pitch in where I can. And I know it makes a difference. What somebody may take for granted and say, well, this didn't mean a lot. Well, it might mean a lot to someone else. And another thing that you mentioned is I do prefer to give. I feel the greatest form of giving is anonymous. I'm not looking for accolades for it. I'm looking for impact from it. I'm looking to help somebody, and then they go get stood up and they go help somebody else. That's impact. That's not, oh yeah, look at me. I'm over here doing a lot of things. you know, we are community focused. You know, we're a part of toy drives, coat drives. You know, we give to the home every Tuesday. We have a group that we work with called I Am a Blessing. Great organization. They pull out on people, and they giving away 13 cars. Every year they give away a car. They find somebody that has the right story, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, we give to them every week. We just try to, and by that I mean food products. We feeding the homeless, we feeding the less fortunate, and trust me, when somebody come around and get some oxtails, and they were hungry, right? When they come around and it's like, wow, this guy just put up and gave us some oxtails. They had 200 pounds of it.
That's
you know what I'm saying? We feeding, 150 people. You know, so. Yeah, the Lord is blessing us in immense ways that we're able to give back, and we love giving back.
Well, what would you leave quickly with inspiring words that you can give someone else, as they go on their journey?
Let me think, because my journey it's a great journey,
yes.
But it's full of challenges, you know. But what is it if it's in both?
Right.
So you have to embrace the sunshine and the rain, because that's what produces the growth.
Okay, well there you have it.
That produces the growth.
Scott, I want to thank you very much for being my guest on Bartell'S
Thank you
Business.
very much.
And man, I would like to say you dropped so many gems, so many nuggets, man, that you got to have you back and do what you need to do.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, my friend and business associate, Scott Clay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
That's right.
Uh-huh.